got to talk about the NAACP today because the NAACP took a stance. Yeah. The fight against fascism and Donald J. Trump. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about with that. I got a lot of clips to show y'all. So with that being said, we're going to jump straight on into it. In this first clip, we got Stephen A. Smith and his take on the NAACP not inviting Donald Trump. The first time in over 100 years, I believe, that they haven't invited or they aren't inviting the president. Let's dive in.
You don't get to ignore him is my point. He has been the most powerful, the most influential member of the GOP since 2015. How does you refusing to invite him, ostracizing him, not wanting to hear what he has to say to you all, how does that help you? How? I'm not saying agree with him. I'm not saying side with him. I'm not saying befriend him. I'm not saying any of those things. But ignoring him ain't going to get it done. Not if you truly want to be about the business of helping folks, particularly the desolate and disenfranchised in our country, the urban communities throughout America. Not that that's all the NAACP does, because I'm certainly not implying that. All I'm saying is that clearly is who you're interested in helping. Ignoring him and not even inviting him to come and speak at your convention, what's that going to accomplish? For the first time in a 116-year history, you're not inviting a president. Are you trying to tell me that there's no president that has been as offensive to the NAACP as Donald Trump in 116 years?
Including a president that said, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. A president that called Barack Obama the first clean and articulate mainstream black male, including Joe Biden, who called black kids roaches. And that's on videotape, by the way. That's not speculation. Okay, you can watch the video clip and listen to him say it. This isn't this isn't like the whole suckers and losers hoax, right? You guys remember that when Trump allegedly called servicemen suckers and losers. There's no videotape of it. Turned out to be a lie. But we got videotape of Joe Biden calling black kids roaches. You didn't think that was offensive? Really? Giving a eulogy at a K group member's funeral? Oh, well, he wasn't a part of the group thing. So you mean to tell me Joe Biden and him just became friends? That's not the case, because last time I checked, you don't give the eulogy at someone's funeral if you just became friends. That wasn't offensive either. Interesting. Carry on.
Are you really making that argument? That no matter what you think about Donald Trump, that's the only president of the United States that you've been able to say that about in a 116-year history of the NAACP. 116 years. Doing the math, that goes back to 1909. Since 1909, there's no president that has ever been more offensive to the NAACP than Donald Trump.
Lyndon B. Johnson, I'll have these N-words voting for Democrats for the next 200 years. That wasn't offensive either. Carry on.
Is that your argument? Let's say for the sake of argument that it is for the moment. Other than the progressive left, who's going to definitively agree with your position? You might have folks out there that want to contribute to the causes of the NAACP that are center left and center right. They may not agree with Donald Trump either, but they recognize the importance of being able to work with the President of the United States. Just think about it.
Nah, don't think about it. Stay where you at. Stay ignorant and foolish. Please keep that over there in the Democrat Party. Silliness, man. I want to play this next clip because this is going to be the leader of the NAACP and his reasoning as to why he didn't want to invite Uncle Trump. Check it out from The View.
The NAACP made the historic move not to invite a sitting president to their national convention, and this is why. NAACP President Derek Johnson says they're not sending an invitation to the White House for the first time since 1909. Yeah. Watch the clip.
Our job is to make democracy work and fight to protect democracy. And there's a conflict. There's a conflict with the things that he has done, that he's doing, and things that are being planned with our job.
There's a conflict because of what? What exactly? Like, let us remember your own party, because make no mistake about it, I can almost guarantee he's a Democrat. The NAACP has basically become another wing of the Democrat Party. The same thing with mainstream media, and they still lost. That is absolutely hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. All these little factions, right, going to the Democrat Party, and they still lost. It wasn't even close. Lost every single swing state and lost the popular vote. But anyway, goodness gracious, man. Trump is a threat to democracy. It's like the blind leading the blind. You know, one thing that I've always found when I've talked to Democrats, right? Because I speak to Democrats. I'm not one of these types of folks who's like, no, I'm not talking to you because you're a Democrat. Nah, I talk to Democrats. And one thing that I find is that they all repeat the same stuff. And then when you call them out on it, when you really hold their feet to the fire, so to speak, they don't even know why they say the things that they say or believe the things that they believe. It's really quite fascinating. Like I said, it's literally the blind leading the blind. And they all just repeat the same line. Ooh, that rhymed. Anyway, check out what Sonny Hostin had to say.
Well, I agree with you, Whoopi. You know, the NAACP, what many people don't understand is it's a nonpartisan organization. And it's also a civil rights organization that has been, and what we have seen with this new Trump administration, Trump 2.0, is you know, he's attacking the civil rights that our ancestors, upon whom we stand on their shoulders, fought for and lost their lives for. He signed what I believe are unconstitutional executive orders to oppress voters and undo federal civil rights protections. He even ended initiatives for affirmative action and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And also, he terminated a number of NIH grants that support scientific research on health equity and racial disparities. And a federal judge, by the way, on Monday declared some of those cuts void and illegal, accusing the government of racial discrimination. Yeah.
To anybody that believes this nonsense, I want to ask you a question. What rights did you have under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that you don't have now under Donald J. Trump? What rights did you have then, just last year, that you don't have, actually no, this year, because Trump wasn't president until this year, excuse me. What rights did you have just earlier this year that you don't have now? Explain that to me. Please explain it to me. They all just say bullshit. Excuse my language, but it is. It's just nonsense. We lost our civil rights. What rights have you lost? Please tell me. Please. I would love to hear it. Explain it to me. Where are all these rights that have just vanished into thin air? Where are they? Goodness gracious. Well, Trump's attacking black people. I want to play this clip. You guys have seen it before, but I want to show it to you again.
Is Trump a racist?
I don't think so. I've talked to a number of black entrepreneurs who back in the late 80s and 90s, early 90s, were trying to get financing. They couldn't. Somebody told them to go check with Donald Trump. So they come back and tell me they got a loan from Donald Trump. He gave them a term loan. Show up with the interest and the principal, one check. But they had to go see him personally. They independently relate this tale that when they saw him, he said, "This what you supposed to pay me? This our agreement?" I said, "Yeah." And then tore the check up, shook their hands, and congratulations. Now run your business.
Would someone who hates black people do that? Hey, black gentlemen, black people, I understand you can't get a loan. I'll give you the loan. What do you need it for? All right, here's the check. It's a term loan. Return the money to me in full with interest. All right? And then they return with the money in full with interest, rips up the check. Don't worry about it. Go run your business. Congratulations. You can't make this stuff up, bro. You really can't. You really can't. Well, Trump is a racist. He hates black people. Silly talk, man.
This guy just yelled in the street, Trump 2024. What makes you love Donald Trump?
If you're truly a patriotic American, how could you not love Donald Trump? If you actually are somebody that does your research and your due diligence as opposed to being pushed by somebody else's propagandist talking points, how could you hate Donald Trump? He's the most popular businessman in American history. If you wanted a movie to be popular throughout all of before 2016, who has the most cameos? I find it funny that as soon as he became a Republican, he became racist. But name me that racist that won an NAACP award. I'll wait. Didn't we have peace around the world when Trump was in office? Why are we in war right now? Oh, and for that daggone bill y'all want to keep talking about the border, y'all were okay with the administration giving $60 billion to Ukraine so they can put 1,500 at the border. Here's something else deeper for you to think about. Didn't they leave millions and millions of guns in Afghanistan unguarded and unattended and left the country? Directly after that, Xi Jinping and Putin came down and gave them legitimacy. Well, what happens after that? Oh, didn't Biden give Putin access to a gas pipeline? And then directly after that, he went to war with Ukraine. And then was it a coincidence that one of our basketball stars got locked up in Russia and we traded her for Victor Boot? So we traded the Lord of War for Brittany Griner with a whole bunch of unattended guns in Afghanistan. That's what you voted for. That's better than Trump. You need to wake up, bro.
This guy.
Some people gotta wake up, man. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of folks will. Uncle Trump, look at it. It's right there on your screen. Come on now, Jesse Jackson. Come on, baby. Come on now. But Trump's a racist, though. Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali. Come on, baby. Come on. NAACP award with Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali. Come on. You mean the guy that had the most popular television show in the 2000s? The Apprentice? That everybody was watching? You're fired? Come on. That guy? You mean that guy that was hanging out with every celebrity you can ever think of? He's gotten pictures with everybody, from Michael Jackson to Muhammad Ali and everybody in between, every black celebrity there is. You mean that guy's the racist? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. You mean the guy that took a black homeless woman who had snuck into his hotel, and the management at the hotel called him and said, hey, this black homeless woman is giving us issues. She keeps sneaking in here. What would you like us to do? Would you like us to trespass? So he said, no. Give her a room, give her 3 meals a day, and a fresh bouquet of flowers every single week. You mean that guy who let the homeless black woman stay in Trump Hotel for free? Come on. These people are an absolute joke. But Joe Biden ain't racist, right? Lyndon Baines Johnson wasn't racist, right? Okay. Joe Biden and everybody who hung around him weren't racist, but okay. But Trump is. Trump hates black people. Okay. Man, some of these so-called black leaders make me sick, man. I'm going to let y'all get out of here with Bishop Wooden. I want to play this clip for y'all because it's 1,000% on point with these so-called black leaders. It's a bunch of BS. That's what it is.
See, this is part of the problem I have with some of the so-called civil rights leaders. These guys fly in their personal jets. They live in gated communities. I'm not against that. Praise God, they are rich. They are doing well. And then they'll stand up and tell you, a black man can't make it in America. If you black in this country, the whole country working against you because a black man can't make it. And he's blacker than you are. And rich have gotten rich off of feeding you that kind of garbage. And there you go. You the fool. You sit there and you buy it. That's right. I'm black. I can't do anything because I'm black. I'm black. But he's black. He's just as black as you are. And yet he's doing good. Convincing you that you can't get anywhere and you're dumb enough to buy it. The devil is a liar. You ought to ask him, well, why are you doing so good, Rev? Why are you faring so well? I see you on CNN, MSNBC, all on TV and everywhere. And when they have the big movie stars and when they have their great big parties, I see you with them and they invite you in and, oh, my Lord, you're sitting at the table and all of y'all are having a ball and you're darker than me. You're darker than I am. Now, how is it that you got up to that table with your black self, but you're telling me with my black self that I can't?
Talk that talk.
You're being fed a bill of goods. They're lying to you. If the Lord delight in you, if you do what is right, God will bless you. Praise the Lord. Now somebody's mad. I can imagine what the comments are. Make them.
1,000% on point. 1,000% on point. All of these same folks who sit on television, including Sonny Host, oh my God, Trump's so bad, it's so terrible for black people. Same thing with Whoopi Goldberg. It's worse in America for a black person than it is for the people in Iran, while they're making millions of dollars. Make it make sense. You know what's also funny? And I'm gonna let y'all get out of here. I know I said after the clip, but I got to get this off because I thought about it during the clip. All of these same folks who claim, oh, I love black people, you know, all these Sonny Hostin, Whoopi Goldberg, and all of these civil rights leaders, right? As soon as they got money, you know where they moved to? You know who their neighbors are? What skin color their neighbors are? The same shade of color that they say are the racist folks, right? They move away from the black neighborhoods to go to the white neighborhoods, but then they say that the white people are the racists and the ones that hate them. You can't make this stuff up, man. Y'all get in the comments and let me know what you think about it, all right? Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.